For ultimate convenience and to legally be able to freedom camp in New Zealand, you will need a self-contained campervan. But what does self-contained mean? We'll go through what self-contained campervans in New Zealand are in this video.
Hey guys, we're Robin and Laura, the team behind BackpackerGuide.NZ, helping you plan an epic trip in New Zealand.
In this video, we'll tell you what you need to know about self-contained campervan for road tripping in New Zealand. First, we'll talk about what exactly does self-contained mean. Then, why would you consider traveling in a self-contained vehicle? How to get the self-containment certification, as well as where to dispose your waste and whether you should rent or buy a self-contained campervan.
And stick around for the end of this video where we're going to give you 5 essential tips for travelling in a self-contained vehicle in New Zealand.
Plus, we publish video all about travelling in New Zealand every single day, so if you're new here, hit that subscribe button.
And with that, let's get on with the video.
Let's get straight to the big question: what is a self-contained campervan?
Self-Containment NZS 5465-2001 is a certification used to show that a campervan can contain water waste for up to 3 days. This includes water in the form of water supply, grey water, which is sink and shower water, and septic waste. In detail, Robin will list the features a campervan must meet to be self-contained.
First up, a fresh water tank which holds 12 litres per person for 3 days. Then a sink via smell trap or water trap connected to a watertight sealed wastewater tank. Then a grey/black wastewater tank which holds 12 litres per person for 3 days. It needs to be vented and monitored if capacity is less than the fresh water tank. An evacuation hose which is 3 meters for fitted tank or long enough to connect to a sealed portable tank. A rubbish bin with a lid and a toilet, either portable or fixed. It needs to have a minimum of 3 litres per person for 3 days and be able to be used inside the campervan with the bed made up.
Just as a side note, per person is measured on the amount of people a campervan can sleep. For instance, a 3-berth campervan needs to meet the minimum tank storage requirements for 3 people, even if you're actually travelling alone.
Even if a campervan has all these features, it is not classed as self-contained until it has received a warrant under the New Zealand Standard for Self-Containment of Motor Caravans and Caravans, NZS 5465-2001.
So why use a self-contained campervan to travel New Zealand?
By storing the wastewater in the van rather than dumping it on the floor, it is much more environmentally friendly. Plus, it's safer for public health.
There are also personal benefits, such as being able to use all of New Zealand's campsites for your trip. Many campsites, including the free ones, do not allow vehicles without the self-containment certificate. There are approximately 340 free campsites to take advantage of. With this, you have more freedom to explore this amazing country without having to be on the constant lookout for showers, toilets, and water.
You are also able to freedom camp on public lands where permitted, obviously. Usually, signs will indicate where there are no camping allowed. Otherwise, if there is no sign, you can usually assume freedom camping in a certified self-contained campervan is allowed. Local councils are often changing their freedom camping bylaws, which differ between districts. We say, if you want to freedom camp on public land, do some research first to see what are the rules for the areas you are planning to visit in New Zealand.
Because the rules surrounding freedom camping are a little bit flaky, we have a whole video on what you need to know about freedom camping linked up in the description below, so make sure to check that out.
Next up, how do you know if a vehicle is self-contained?
To know whether a campervan that you are purchasing or renting is self-contained, look for the sticker on the front left-hand side of the windscreen.
If you have managed to get your own campervan that you think meets the requirement but does not have the self-containment certification, you can get an inspection and a certification for around 55 New Zealand dollars if you are a member of the New Zealand Motor Caravan Association.
Alternatively, there are other issuing authorities for the self-containment certification, including any registered plumber, a company called All Points Camping, which again we'll link to in the description below, and other motorhome companies.
As mentioned before, the vehicle needs to meet certain requirements to obtain a certification sticker. Just as a quick reminder, it needs
a freshwater tank, a sink via smell trap or water trap connected to a watertight sealed wastewater tank, a grey/black wastewater tank, evacuation hose, a rubbish bin with a lid, and either a portable or fixed toilet that can be used inside the vehicle when the bed is made up.
Now let's go over where do you dispose of your wastewater.
By having a self-contained campervan, it is your responsibility to empty the wastewater when needed in a safe and environmentally friendly way. The answer to this is to use dump stations to dump wastewater.
There are heaps of dump stations in New Zealand to safely dispose of your campervan's wastewater. You can ask the information center for their locations, and they are often also featured on most local maps as well as camping apps. Just look out for this icon, which indicates a dump station.
Now, should you rent or buy a self-contained campervan?
Visiting New Zealand on a short trip? Well, renting a campervan is the fastest and most convenient way to hit the road. Campervan rental companies should explicitly say whether their vans are certified self-contained. Be aware, some will say they are self-contained, but it doesn't always mean they are certified. For more information about renting a campervan in New Zealand, check out the link below to our essential guide to renting a campervan in New Zealand.
Staying in New Zealand for more than a couple of months, in this case it would be much more cost effective to buy a self-contained campervan and sell it at the end of your trip. This is, however, quite time consuming, so leave yourself a couple of weeks at both ends of your trip to allow time to buy and sell. Get more information on our Travel by Campervan in New Zealand guide, which we'll link up below as well.
So we hope that cleared up what exactly is self-contained campervan for you. But as promised, here are 5 essential tips for traveling in a self-contained campervan in New Zealand.
Number 1. If renting a campervan, bear in mind that there are actually a lot of inclusions. Usually your kitchenware, bedding and even towels are included, so there's literally no reason to pack the kitchen sink. However, this does mean that when buying a self-contained vehicle for yourself, you might need to buy these things as extra because they're not always included, so remember to factor that one into your budget.
Number 2. Most self-contained motorhome in New Zealand uses diesel, which, while they have a cheaper fuel price than petrol, there is actually a tax on diesel called a road usage charge, which you'll even need to pay if renting as well as buying. It's between 62 to 68 New Zealand dollars per 1,000 kilometers traveled.
Number 3. If buying a self-contained campervan, actually check that the water tanks and the toilets etc. works. Even if it has a self-containment sticker, which is still valid, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything is still in working order.
Number 4. When renting a campervan, be aware that the seasons vastly affect the prices. We go through the best time to rent vehicle in our ultimate guide to renting a car video.
And finally, number 5, remember to include the cost of the ferry crossing between the North Island and the South Island into your budget. The larger your campervan, the more expensive it will be, and we give a general price guide in our ferry crossing article in the description below.
So that's it for Self-Contained Campervan Guide. We hope it answered all your questions, but if there was anything missing, make sure to leave your questions in the comment below so Laura and I can take the time to answer them for you.
And if you found this video useful, give it a cheeky thumbs up so that we'll keep on making more of these New Zealand travel tip videos for you guys. And oh yeah, remember to subscribe so you can see these videos as well.
If you're looking for places to visit in your campervan, don't miss New Zealand's biggest gap year, where we're challenging ourselves to tackle 365 activities in only 365 days. This should give you some epic inspiration for an epic bucket list in New Zealand.
Until next time, keep exploring.